Hey, thanks for riding with me again today. We're right into the action here with a quick pickup from over near the airport here in South Bend, Indiana. We're once again driving a Honda Odyssey minivan so we can do all the different types of rides. And we're going to head across town here with a nice lady that's going out to lunch at one of the local supermarkets. We've got a nice local chain of supermarkets here that has a side door deli, and it's such a good deli that people make it a destination and go all the way across town sometimes to meet friends for lunch. Here we're going to head south down State Road 933 and get a left onto Cleveland to head east over towards the Mishawaka, Elkhart, and Granger areas. You see me going back and forth on Cleveland a lot because it's one of the main drags east and west across the top side of the city before you get to the state line up near Michigan. And here we're going to take a right and head south down Ironwood, which is a major north-south road over this side of town. And here we are at the Martins, and we just take a hard right into the side area where the side door deli and gas station are, and we are on the board with our first ride complete. And an extra thanks to that lady there for the $5 tip on top of the ride. So really appreciate that.
So good talking to you.
So this next ride is one that I really should not have taken. A lot of times these rides, you accept them thinking they're going to be a simple $9 or $10 ride, and then the person gets into your car and all of a sudden they start changing the ride. And this is exactly what happened here. This turned into a 3-stop ride with lengthy waits. It's just really frustrating when this happens because you go through all this and the extra pay is like maybe $1 or $2, maybe $3 more. I think this one was maybe $2 more than what I accepted, and the ride took forever to complete. And the person was updating the ride until the very last stop. They changed the last stop while we were on the way to it. And of course, we get even more good luck that the first stop is at a bank on a main street downtown in South Bend with nowhere to stop. So I just had to sit in the lane of traffic with my hazards on because the app does not really allow you to deviate and like go around the block or do anything logical that you would do in real life. So I just had to sit here and wait indefinitely for this person to go in and handle their banking. And it kept getting better as we were pulling up to this stop. They informed me that we are probably 5 or so minutes too early to pick up their child from school, but they were going to run inside and it would probably be okay. So they had no intention of picking this child up prior to school being let out, and we were clearly early. And it seemed like this person has done this before because they immediately got out of the car, left their cell phone in the car so I couldn't cancel the ride or get a hold of them, and then they ran into the building. And I sat here for quite some time. I think it was about 10 minutes nearly waiting here. And we just barely pulled away and get back on the road, and this person starts telling me that they have changed the last stop to be the Kroger grocery store, and I honestly wasn't even paying attention to what they were saying at this point. I was so frustrated. Here you can take a look. I accepted originally a $9 ride that should have taken, under 20 minutes, and instead I get a 37-minute ride that paid $11 and change. Absolutely robbed. I should have made 2 or 3 times that much in that amount of time. And of course, no tip. Thanks so much. Appreciate the service. So after sitting in the car frustrated for 40 minutes on that one, you can definitely let that affect your day in a lot of negative ways, but I decided that that was a good wake-up call to really try to pay better attention to what I was doing and be more strict with what I was accepting and what I was willing to wait around for. Typically, I'm pretty lenient with waiting and making accommodations for people if they're not quite ready, but for the rest of this day, I just wasn't in the mood for it, and I ended up having 2 rides that I got paid for as no-shows because I sat there and waited, then I messaged them, then I called them, and they still weren't ready, and I just canceled the ride and left and got paid. So thanks to that last person for focusing my efforts and making it a better day overall, really.
Hi, for Lakeisha? Yeah? How you doing today? How you doing? I'm good. Ready to go? Telling me just here? Right here. Right here? Okay, you got it. Let's go. How you doing today? Good, how are you? I'm doing great.
In the last episode, when we got onto Notre Dame's campus, we were thwarted by a gate that we did not have an access card for, and this time we unfortunately came across a road that was missing. They're digging up this road that we turned down, so we just had to go down one more traffic light to get onto campus, and that was no big deal, but I had to mark that as a road closure in the app because it obviously didn't know about it yet. And I think I mentioned this last time, but anytime I ever get a drop-off on campus, it is extremely rare that I ever get a pickup following that on campus, and it just takes forever to get back out of there. I think it's great that this campus specifically is so pedestrian-friendly and so walkable. It's great to see them prioritizing that, but when you are on campus driving, you certainly feel like you're out of place, and you have to be very cautious and go very slowly, and I'm happy to do that. It is a little worrying whenever you pull into a parking lot and see an active police scene, but thankfully we weren't here for that this time. We were just picking up a gentleman and taking him to work. Don't know what the cops were there for. It seemed like just one officer was talking to one person, so it seemed like everything was well at hand. After finishing that one, I decided to head across the road quickly to the Dunkin' Donuts so I could use the restroom and grab a small coffee so I could have something warm to drink when I get back on the road. And for this one, we're just picking up a worker at the Olive Garden restaurant and taking them home after their shift. Another fun thing to notice on these Lyft rides, you'll see a lot of times on these receipts it says ride accepted, then ride switched. I've got that feature turned off in the app, so I should not be receiving rides that get switched after I accept them, but every single time I go driving, that absolutely happens.
Miss Rafina?
Yes, that's it.
Yes, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well.
So here we come to our first no-show of the day. Now, while I'm sitting here this entire time, the folks I'm actually supposed to be picking up are just over there on the left in the screen, and they're standing in front of a building that is a half a block away from the building they ordered the car to. The building they ordered the car to is on my side of the street and right where I'm sitting, and they're all the way over there. And while I'm sitting here, I messaged them a number of times to let them know that I had arrived, what type of vehicle I was in, and then when the timer ran out, I called them, and of course they didn't answer the phone, so I canceled the trip and left. Now, I did just go like a couple blocks away and pull into a parking lot to wait for the next ride, and I wouldn't know it until I got back there, but the next ride I got offered ended up being them again. And when I got back over there, they said they had seen me sitting there. And I asked them why they didn't respond to their messages or answer their phone, and they didn't really seem to have an answer to that. So, I felt bad, but hopefully lesson learned that they got charged for both of these rides, and hopefully the next time they order a ride, they'll keep their phone out and pay attention to what's going on and not just stand there, because there's only so much I can do if you literally just stand there and don't look like you're looking for a ride and don't have your phone out. Like, how am I supposed to know you're a passenger? And now we're going to head back across the river to pick somebody up at the hospital again and take them home from work.
long after that, I feel like it's all kind of like half a block everywhere. Hope you get some rest. Have a good night.
And now we're headed over to our second no-show of the day. We're coming up to 4:30 in the afternoon, you know, the real meaty part of the day where I should be super busy and we should just have back-to-back rides. And I pull up to this one, and of course there's no one around, and the house that the ride is booked from has no windows. It's like a husk of a house, so it didn't look like there was anybody in there. And of course I sat there and waited as you have to with the app. They give you a countdown timer, and I messaged the person to let them know that I had arrived, where I was, and what kind of vehicle I was in. And then I phoned them. And when I phoned them, they were in the middle of an argument inside of a house, clearly not the one I was sitting next to. And then they started telling me something about their mom was yelling at them, and I could hear their mom yelling in the background. And I was just real polite. I said, "That sounds great, thanks." And I ended the call, and then I ended the ride and left. Between accepting that ride at 4:20 and canceling it and leaving at 4:33, I wasted 13 minutes there for a grand total of $3 and change, which again is a complete waste of my time. I picked up another one pretty quickly here and had to head back downtown to grab them, and then we headed back out of town over towards the Mishawaka area and the University Park Mall. And the sun's starting to go down pretty quickly this time of day in this part of the country, so grabbing a $10 ride out of the city, and usually over by the mall you get some good rides in the evening, and I like to head back towards home when the sun starts going down, because it really is hard not only just to see the street signs in the rural areas here, but the potholes especially are impossible to avoid once the sun goes down. There just aren't enough street lights here, and it's simply not worth it in the winter time to be out driving late when the potholes are as bad as they are. So let's head across town and get this one done.
Yes, how are you today? I'm doing well.
And this was another one where the passenger was really gracious and left a $5 cash tip, so that made that one especially worth taking. And I really appreciate that when passengers tip. It's never expected, but it really makes a huge difference at the end of the day. Even if it's just $1 or $2 per ride, you can imagine how that adds up over the course of a full shift out here. So thank you again to everyone that tips their drivers. So at this point, I'm definitely considering heading back towards home as the sun is dropping, but I went back over to the mall just for a couple minutes to see if there was anything going on over there, and it didn't take very long to get another ride. Although the one I ended up getting assigned was back over on Notre Dame's campus. So we'll head back over there real quick and grab this person from an off-campus housing development and take them onto campus down to the Performing Arts Center. Then I immediately got offered another ride from somebody on campus, but the fastest way to get to them was to actually go out off of the main campus here. This is Eddy Street Commons where all the bars are, and then back around to the entrance I just went down to go in that way and take a left down Holy Cross Drive to get over to the dorms, and you've got to go through a gate over that way. So it kind of makes sense why the app took me that direction, but I think I could have just made a U-turn and got there a little quicker. And this random corner on the sidewalk is actually where they dropped the pin to be picked up. And when I messaged them, they said that was correct and they were walking towards me. So a little unusual to pull over right here, but it worked out perfectly. They found me and we got headed over to the mall after a quick U-turn here because you can't get out the way we needed to on this side of campus without a swipe card. And as you can tell, we are losing daylight rapidly here as we head off of campus. And, you know, over the years, I've used Uber and Lyft a ton at night, primarily at night, honestly, coming home from work and, you know, different jobs and travel, landing late at night and taking rides back into the city. And as a driver, I got to say, this job gets 100% more stressful at night. And I personally enjoy driving at night. It's not something that I normally am bothered by. But yeah, driving for these rideshare services at night is definitely a lot more stressful, and in the winter, even more stressful on top of that with the road conditions being questionable. So with that in mind, I decided to pack it in for the night and head home. And even though this one felt like an absolute disaster and I wasted a ton of time with that long ride for no money and those no-shows, I ended up with $98 on the app plus some cash tips to equal $103 for just about 4 hours worth of work. And that's always kind of my goal going out driving, is to get to $100 as quickly as possible. I only do this a few hours a day when I have time, and, you know, anytime I can put an extra $100 aside and not spend too much on fuel in the process, that's always a nice addition to the week. And I'm making these videos mostly for myself, just to have some accountability and a bit more fun while I'm out there driving. When things start to go in a negative direction and I know I'm going to pull the dash cam footage and watch it back to try to put together an entertaining video, it's really been helpful so far in just staying focused on what I'm out there doing. So hopefully this was a fun one, and thanks again for riding along with me today. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.